Often, we define ourselves as runners or walkers, but it's important to remember that we are individuals who run or walk. We all lead busy lives, but it's something special when you can merge two passions into the same space. Rose is one of those individuals who's figured out a way to share her gift alongside her running journey. Its importance is poignant because of the one aspect it brings to herself and to others at the start line, and that is joy. Let's dive right in. This one's a little different because I know you obviously well.
Yeah.
But the one thing I've always admired about what you do is how you incorporate different things into different hobbies. Um, your passion and joy when it comes to singing is always natural. And I recall when you first got asked to do the first on the first this
Yeah.
year and how you suddenly just asked you on the spot. But when you go up there and you sing, you transform the atmosphere. And one thing that came out of that was how many people really expressed how much joy and how it made them feel and how you made their day brighter. So my question to you, my darling, is what does joy mean to you and how do you incorporate that into your running and walk journey?
Wow. It's a very good question. I'm so glad you brought back first on the first because it just brought back, memories from that moment that I had not thought of ever since. Um, but yes, that first on the first was an experience for sure because I had no idea that I was about to do the national anthem before the race started. And that was literally less than 30 minutes before we started. So Dave was like, hey, do you want to give this thing a try? And I was actually about to start my warm up for the run, but turns out I had to warm up for singing and then do like just a quick 10-minute, running warm up. But, doing it, standing up there and saying yes to that opportunity, something that was so impromptu. And sharing that gift with everybody that was there. Hearing how there's a lady who came to me and she's like, thank you for sharing your gift, with us today. That's the highlight of my day. Just the impact that it has on people that's much deeper than just listening to a song with, good lyrics and, wonderful melody or hitting up those high notes or whatnot. It's just more. It's something that's deeper than just that, and that literally awakened that joy within, and it's like it brought so much joy to me. For one, doing something that I love while doing another thing I love. So performing, and getting ready to run a race. So combining those two joys was just an experience that I had not thought of, but that I'm just so grateful for. So speaking of what joy means to me, it means it just means a lot more than words could express. For me, joy is really doing something that I delight myself in, whether that's music, whether that's dancing or cooking or whatnot. It is really tapping within. During my daily routines or whatnot, doing those things that I really enjoy is what leads me to fully express myself, authentically be me, who I am from within, expressing myself in creative ways in those areas that I just mentioned. So, that's literally what joy is to me, in a very generic sense. But yes, just doing those things that help me to just fully be present, be in the moment, whether it's big as performing, the anthem, in front of thousands of people, or small, as like a slow morning, getting a nice cup of tea in the morning, or just smiling at a stranger on a trail or whatnot. So those little moments or bigger moments too, that just help me to truly be in the moment and fully be present, soak in, the magic and beauty of the moment that I am in. Truly, helps me to tap on that, and that's mostly because, on the day-to-day routines or daily routines or whatnot, it's so easy to get caught up with the next thing to do. We have tasks, that we need to complete. That there's work, there are projects that we need to work on, and it's so easy to get caught up into the mindset of I've accomplished this, so
Yeah.
I need to go ahead and move on to, the next thing. What's the next thing?
Yeah.
Always looking for that next thing. So, making space for these simple moments that really help to, be present and, enjoy every moment is something that I'm always grateful for when it happens, whether it's impromptu or, when it happens because I've planned to make time for it,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a good point. So let me ask you this then. So then, if there are, because we come in touch with a lot of different people of different experiences when
Yeah.
it comes to running and walking, but you highlighted a really good point about finding the joy and enjoying every moment with that. And it's easy for us to get caught up into the hustle and bustle, not only of life, but we're adding in an additional thing when we get into fitness.
Yeah.
So what if you had three things to encourage, three words of things to encourage those to help find their joy as they get into that journey? What three things would you suggest or recommend?
Yeah. So,
And it doesn't have to be three; it could be one to three.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Good. So I was about to say however many I think of. So I would say, alluding back to what I just mentioned, that could be just making space, to things that may not always be part of your routine, making space to things or, situations or spaces that allow you to fully be present. It's such a fast-paced world, so finding those moments is something that's deeply valuable. And
Yeah, that's a
you
good
may
point.
find something in it that you didn't even know that you really needed. Back to what I mentioned from First on the First, when I got that impromptu opportunity of performing the national anthem, it helped me to really ground myself and be present in the moment, because my mind, before the opportunity came to light, my mind was that, okay, I need to just go ahead and warm up and go ahead and run this race. I
Right.
was just locked in and ready to run.
Yeah.
But that really helped me, to take a moment and fully be present. So, yeah.
Okay. Anything else on that?
No, I think on that piece, making space,
Yeah.
for things or places that allow you to fully be present, and also making time, to really think through what it is that you really enjoy doing. So it could be, just whether it's you reflecting on what brings you joy, but I think there's more value than just sitting there and reflecting on what it is that brings you joy.
Yeah.
You have to also take action, right? So let's say you've reflected that you love dancing, or you love reading. Maybe putting the action behind that would be, joining a dance, like a weekly meetup for dancing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or setting time to go ahead and find out a local bookstore. So just really stepping into creating space for those moments that bring you joy.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So, would there be anything else? That's the last question I have, actually. Which, before I go to the last question, I have to, of course, you know how I feel about you, obviously. But just so that way we are clear on that, you're obviously an inspiration to me, personally speaking, and that's why the first word that comes to mind. I mean, if I was to be biased, you bring me joy all the time. But it's the thing that when you share your gifts with others and how you've really incorporated that to not just the music performance world, but to the running and walking world, and how you embody what it means to be in the moment. Because you dress alongside with me now, and how people come to you as Mrs. Incredible or Wonder Woman, and how you really exemplify the importance of having joy when we're in fitness, because it's tough.
Yeah.
A lot of it's not easy to get up and walk, but
No.
it's
Yeah.
inspiring to me to see how much you've grown personally, but how you've not only grown for yourself, but you sought to make sure that others grow alongside with you, but in their own individual goals. You're huge support. So I always find inspiration in your drive for your passions and what brings you joy, and how you always keep that as part of your routine. No matter what you're doing, you always try to find the joy in how to keep that alive. So I, for one, of course, thank you for you being you in what you do, not only for me, but for others around us. So I wanted to make sure you had your flowers, which you always get, but I just wanted to make sure you had that. So with that said, one last question for you. You are preparing for your first marathon in 120 days. How do you feel?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So after doing so many halves, and if anybody asked me, 2 years ago at not if I wanted to run a marathon, I would say absolutely not. I have no desire to do so. So I told myself that I would only run a full marathon, when I find my why. Like, why am I running this? Not just because, for not just to go with the flow, because that's what most people do, but I really needed to tap within and have a why for it. So I finally found it, as I told you, when we went to Chicago at the expo. That was the moment for me. And to be honest with you, initially when it was official that I'm actually going to be doing my first full, I was nervous, of course, because it's like, oh my gosh, this is going to be double, what I've been doing for half marathons. But as time went by, and now, just like now that I am within my training for it, I think I'm feeling more excited. I'm feeling more excited about it, because I do believe that I'm ready for it, because I have been really working hard to be consistent with training, and the community also. Just seeing quite a lot of the people that we know in this wonderful community going after their first full marathon, or those who've done many others before too. It is just inspiring, and I think that is something that has also played a role in helping me feel more excited about it, and really know that there's not really anything to be nervous about. I know why I'm doing it. I'm putting in the work for it, and what I can do is to just really be fully present in this journey. That's the one thing I really want to work on, and be fully present in this training journey. And, of course, on race day too. But I think the full experience, the beauty of the whole experience, I think goes from this moment in training all the way to race day, with race day being the cherry on top. So I'm excited for sure.
I'm excited for you.
Yes.
So if people want to find you, how can they find you? What run groups do you like?
Yeah, so I do quite a few run groups in town. So the Eastern Run Club, it's a big family there. So meets every Tuesday at 6 p.m. at Pins at Easton. And on Wednesday mornings, I love my German Village family as well. So GVRC, Wednesday mornings at 6:45 a.m. And also Columbus Running Company, the very first run club I joined. So out in Westerville, and that's mostly for my long runs on Saturday mornings at 8. So yes, and that's just a few of the amazing run groups, run clubs that are in the city. So yes, for anybody who's out there, thinking of training for a race, I would strongly recommend joining a run club, because that's where all of the fun, goes, because you're working along folks who have the same goals and who are willing to support you along the journey.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you as always. And I love you and
I
I'm
love
proud of
you.
you.